for his bogey. Remember what happened here yesterday? He had that 4-footer for his par, and he ended up 4-putting. And it looks like he's going to do it again.
What's up, guys? Tomfoolery TV back with another video. I know it's been a while, been sorting some stuff out, but I'm going to be back with some more content, so you guys stay tuned. Today I'm finally going to be giving you guys my review of The Last of Us 2. I'm not going to make this video too long now that the dust has settled, but I do feel there's a few things we need to discuss. And yeah, stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So let's just start with, the history of The Last of Us. So, coming into this generation, The Last of Us was one of the most regarded, cherished single player games, probably in gaming history. And, The Last of Us Part 2 had a lot to live up to. The question I tend to ask myself is, should we have expected so much from The Last of Us Part 2? I mean, it's easy to say after the game releasing that we shouldn't have. People have said that the sequel was unnecessary, but I believe going into it, I think the hype was expected and deserved. I feel like, Naughty Dog had already had the foundation from the first game, had set up brilliant characters, brilliant development, a brilliant world, interesting plot devices. So I believe going into The Last of Us 2, we were going to, get a fulfillment of all these things set up in the previous game. As like, the first game was pretty much like a catapult, and with obviously the limited software and, or hardware, should I say, back in the last generation, I feel like they could have exceeded expectation, and in certain elements they have met my expectation, and in other elements they have really disappointed. Yeah, and just to touch upon the point about the story and where it went, yeah, man, like, so the story in the second game, the part 2, we'll call it part 2, it basically just settles for a simple revenge plot at the end of the day. It's a story that could have been told in any medium outside of this interesting world, Naughty Dog had set up in the previous game. And that was a big upset to me. There was little to no interest shown in the infection. I was, hoping for a deeper dive into the whole cordyceps virus and, how that's now affected the rest of humanity. Can a cure still be created? It's not even touched upon. It's just touched upon Ellie, finding out what Joel did. But in terms of, is there a way to still create a cure? It's not really mentioned. Yeah, just like all these questions. How and where does humanity progress now? Do you know what I mean? After everything that's going on. And these are just questions and themes I would have loved to see in this game. And they just seem pushed to the side. It's just a very simple revenge. I'm mad at you. You've done me wrong. I'm going to do you wrong. Cycle of violence. Where does it end? But I don't know. It just feels... The thing about the original Last of Us, it managed to take a very, I guess generic theme. Zombies are used a lot. A very generic theme, but put its own twist on it, made it very interesting, very relatable. It was about the characters in this dire situation. And, part 2 is no longer about these interesting characters in a dire situation. It's just about dire characters in a dire situation, and there's no one, or literally no one to relate to. I mean, maybe this is a direction Naughty Dog wanted to go. There's There's no good guys. There is no one you should side with. But I feel like they did such a disservice to great characters that they had established in the first game, and I believe that is the biggest tragedy about this game. It's the disservice of beloved and cherished characters, and these characters we had come to love are replaced by new characters who just fail in comparison, in my opinion. They're boring, and I had little to no attachment with. I mean, Abby again is not. She's not the worst character, but her crew, I couldn't really care about. Owen, couldn't really care about him. Manny didn't really care. Mel, like, just it's just like it was. This game was just a switcheroo. Do you know what I mean? It's like, hey guys, these are these interesting characters you love and care about, and yeah, you're gonna get to know more about these characters you love. This is the mind frame going in, and you play in the game and you realize, nope, it's no longer about these characters you came to love and care about, and wanted to see their journey progress. It's about boring, uninteresting characters you couldn't really give a damn about, and you're seeing where their story goes. And in a sense, like, the original characters do take a back seat in this game. And yeah, like, just to play off the story as well, like the story structure in this game, oh my gosh, man, it's jarring, and the structure doesn't flow, and that also leaks into the replay value. I mean, this game has little to no replay value in my opinion, other than, if you're trying to acquire a platinum trophy, or you're trying to do some encounters. There's an encounter mode which is pretty cool. Like, you don't necessarily have to play through the story. You can just pick parts of the story you enjoyed and just play through them. But yeah, the story structure was all over the place. It was very jarring. You're in a flashback inside of a flashback inside of another flashback. I just feel like this game didn't know what it wanted to be. The creators of this game didn't really know what they wanted it to be, and in that you get a jumbled mess, which is a technical marvel, by the way. This game is very technically good, and this is where I'm going to start trying to talk about a few of the positives. So gameplay in this game, so the gameplay evolved from the first game, implementing new ways of traversal and combat. Level design is probably some of the best you're going to see in a linear storyline game this generation. Just superb. Level design, superb. Graphics are arguably the best you've seen on the PlayStation to date. And that's that's not something to take lightly. There's a lot of great games this gen with great graphics. So yeah, I mean, just from a technical standpoint, this game is astonishing. But it's pretty much everything outside of the gameplay, the level design, the graphics, that's just questionable, or for better use of words, disappointing. So guys, I mean, me playing through this game, it was a weird experience because there was a lot I enjoyed from a gameplay and just a technical standpoint. But yeah, I was just walking down a road I didn't want to go down with this game. Walking down a very scenic. It's like walking down a road which is very scenic, but you don't like where it's going. But there's a few things to look at along the way, and this is this game. It's not the game I wanted it to be. I don't think it's a well-deserved sequel. I mean, after playing this, I don't believe we needed a sequel. In some aspects, it may even ruin parts about the first game in some aspects. Yeah, as you can tell, guys, I wasn't the biggest fan of this game overall. From a story standpoint, just didn't like this game. From a story standpoint, didn't like it. Didn't like what it was trying to tell. Didn't like where it went. And I keep reiterating, it was just a disservice of crucial characters that just made this game fall apart. I'm okay with, you know, key characters dying, but it's the handling of these characters. And Joe wasn't handled well. Ellie, she was a shell of herself, and I feel like Naughty Dog do have to go back to the drawing board after this game. I know they are still a very highly regarded developer, but I feel like they do have to take a step back after this game and really, really think about where they're gonna go for their next, you know, IP, because that will be the make or break of Naughty Dog. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see where Naughty Dog go from here. I, for one, believe their next game has to be so by the numbers. Literally, it's gonna have to be a man with a gun who's trying to save a girl from a bad guy. Naughty Dog. You can even call it that. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want no experimental concepts, no pushed agendas or themes. I just want a good game. And in that respect, Naughty Dog still know how to make a good game from a gameplay standpoint. That hasn't been lost in this game. The gameplay is great, but it's everything surrounding that where the game just falls apart. And as I said, I feel like Naughty Dog really needs to take a step back and really look about where they want to go as a company, because the next game truly will be the make or break of Naughty Dog. And I mean that. I already feel like they've lost a lot of their consumer base with this game. And yeah, I don't think this game hasn't really put them in good stead, especially if they're going into a Last of Us 3. But I, for one, think they need to end the game here. Just end it here. No one really cares where it goes next. The Last of Us is officially over. It just didn't end the way I would have liked. So yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it there because I could go on forever with this game. But let me know in the comments what you think. Did you enjoy this game? Am I wrong? Did Naughty Dog hit it out of the park with this one? Let me know in the comments. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Tomfoolery TV, we use a fool for not watching. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.
Mm.